This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on May 15th, a day early. Normally we tape on Friday morning. It's 2014, but Harold is going to be interviewed on Bloomberg Radio Friday, May 16th at 12:15 Mountain, 2:15 Eastern. We'll talk about it a little later in the show. Our show runs on your favorite radio stations. The shows are archived on your favorite, obviously, websites. Our websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. You can find us on the podcast, too. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in World Financial Report on Radio. You will find us there. Subscribe to the podcast. The shows come in every week. We're portable. We go anywhere you do on your portable device. Harold does daily market commentary. You can find it on his website. You can also listen to it live, and that is through the podcast site. You can take it anywhere you go. So we are portable, and you can find us online. Obviously, find us as well through the podcast site, iTunes World Financial Report on Radio. There's only one company Harold recommends you use when it comes to investing in gold and silver, platinum, palladium. That's Worldwide Precious Metals. Their website, www.pmc.com, telephone number 1-866-623-2002. They were in Calgary. They're going to be in Edmonton June 2nd and 3rd, and they are booking private information sessions. And I know that anyone who's taken them up on this free, zero-obligation offer for a meet and greet has been absolutely happy they took the time to sit down and learn about investing in hard assets. So they are booking private info sessions June 2nd and 3rd for Edmonton. If you would like to learn more, give them a call, 1-866-623-2002. Book early because the slots will fill very quickly. We always find that here in Edmonton. And connect with them, too, at www.pmc.com. It was an outstanding week for diamonds, and we have to remind everyone that, of course, Harold and hsfineauctions.com has an auction coming up, and it's going to be one for the history books because they're raising money for the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. We are so excited about this auction coming up. It's May the 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain Time. And it's so important that we support critical breast cancer research. It's an online auction. You can see all the info at hsfineauctions.com, the catalog. We'll talk about that later in the show as well. And Harold, we had a week where the graphed yellow diamond sold for $16 million at Sotheby's, and the blue diamond sold for $24.2 million at Christie's, both in Geneva. It was an outstanding week for diamonds. And on the hard asset side of things, gold and silver, we saw gold and silver stabilize and move higher later in the week.
You bet we did. A very, very exciting week. Those auction results, Randy, were just unbelievable. A $25 million blue and a $16 million yellow. I mean, how does it get any better than that? Basically, the markets have been trading in a range and the lower end, but yesterday, actually on Wednesday, because we're taping the show on Thursday, we saw gold up substantially, and that was primarily because inflation numbers started to pick up. You know, we've been talking about the fact that the way that the government actually calculates inflation versus what, you know, most people believe is real inflation is two totally different things. I mean, when you look at a normal family that, let's say, earns $50,000 a year, and that money is tight, some goes to the mortgage, to the car payments, to food, you know, to education, to insurance, to everything like that, and what little is left over, you know, goes into your savings account. However, with food prices up 25% in the first quarter of this year, it's very, very difficult to save any money, and that's what true inflation is. It's the cost of living going up when your income or your salary is not going up, and that's exactly what's going on right now. The way that the government calculates inflation, believe it or not, is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard. It's on rentals. home rentals, and on used cars. So it makes no sense to me whatsoever. In fact, most of the things that the government tries to feed us as far as numbers goes doesn't make any sense. You look at the unemployment numbers, and we know what's happening in the United States. We know that most people are not working or don't have jobs that are anywhere close to what the pay was, several years ago. So the fact is that things are not as rosy as they appear. And you really have to dig down deep to find out what the true news is, and that's what I'm very proud of our radio show and our newsletter. Randy does an amazing job all week long. All he does is dig and dig and dig for pertinent information that will give you the right information so you can make an intelligent decision. And again, it's really difficult at times because, again, we know that the government in the United States, for example, and in other parts of the world, in Europe and all that, are desperate. They're in desperate situations. Financially, the U.S. is bankrupt. They're broke. They owe almost $20 trillion, and the economy is not good. The middle class is not making any money. The housing industry for the middle class is not improving, and the middle class is not in the stock market. And the stock market appears to be hitting record levels almost every day, and it's not based on a strong economy. It's based on quantitative easing. So, again, myself personally, I would never invest in a market like the stock market, the Dow Jones, when it's not based on true fundamentals, when it's based on basically manipulation by the governments that are interested in only seeing that market stable. Now, again, who wouldn't want to see a stable market? But it's very concerning to see that the market is hitting record levels when the economy really doesn't back that up. So on Wednesday, the market fell substantially, about 150 points, when situations in Russia and the Ukraine are not improving, and when inflationary numbers came out and were basically showing that we're not really deflating, but we're inflating. And again, all you have to do is listen to the show and realize that the price of food, especially beef, has skyrocketed in the first quarter of this year to where it's up already 25%. This is also an El Nino year, which means that we could have some very, very crazy weather patterns. Not that we haven't seen that already. It was a winter from hell this year. And again, a lot could happen in the food industry this year. So again, it's a time to remain conservative. It's not a time to speculate and think that you're able to figure out what these markets are really going to do. The fact is that when we buy gold and silver, we buy it as a hedge against currency devaluation and as a hedge against inflation. And that's why you want to own gold and silver and diamonds and hard assets like that. You don't want to trade these markets because, again, anything could happen with all the situations happening around the world, whether it's in Russia and Ukraine, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's in Europe, which is financially bankrupt also, whether it's here in North America. The fact is that you want to remain conservative because there's so many roadblocks out there and so many landmines that we could wake up one day and find out that the markets are in total disarray like they were in 2008 and 9. So you need to own the type of assets that, again, are going to hedge you against horrible things happening. Diversification is extremely important. Myself personally, I don't invest in paper assets. Again, they're too easily manipulated, and again, being in the financial business for 35 years, it's just not for me. Every few years, the markets plummet. Right now, we're at a situation where we feel the Dow is about to plummet again, and we just don't want to be into that. It's no longer a stock market that is meant for retirement. It's a stock market that's meant for speculation, and unless you're an avid speculator, it doesn't make sense to be in that market. We did see a big move in gold on Wednesday. Gold opened down about $13 on Thursday. As we're taping the show, it's only down $4 now. It's coming back very strong. We're trading right now above the 1,300 level. Again, there is support in the market at 1,280, and 1,180 is the strongest support for gold, along with $1,000. So, again, we do anticipate that there will be volatility in the market. Do we feel that the governments are through, fooling around with the gold and silver and commodity markets? No, we don't. I don't think that they're through with that at this point. So we could see, slightly lower prices, but all in all, I do believe over the longer term, that gold and silver are the hard assets to own, along with assets like diamonds and rare cars and things like that, things that you can enjoy, things that you can hold on to, and things that have a tremendous opportunity to increase in value. With all the risk in the markets today, what you really want to, people want to preserve their capital. we all want to make money, but it's difficult to make money. If you look at your money situation at this point, if you're very conservative and keep your money in the bank, you're getting less than 2% a year. And once you figure in taxes and inflation, you're not making anything. So that's really not a viable opportunity. When you look at the interest rates that are so low, it forces you back into the stock market. Again, that's a very risky situation because, again, we've seen what the stock market did in 1999. We saw what the stock market did in 2008, and we're going to see what's going to happen again in the foreseeable near future. So, again, unless you're younger in your 20s and 30s and losing all your money at this point, is not an issue because you're so young that you can still make it back again. But if you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s and you lose your money in the markets this time, it's going to be nearly impossible to make that money back again. And again, the brokers out there, stockbrokers primarily, are comfortable with the fact that their famous line is, well, the market always comes back after time. But again, if you're in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, do you have the opportunity for that to happen in enough time? So, again, what we profess and what we feel is extremely important is to be in the type of assets that, number one, will preserve your equity, your capital, and number two, give you an opportunity to see your investments increase in value. And even though gold is sitting, at $1,300 now. It's been as high as $1,900, and most people think the gold is down. Gold is not down. Gold started at $250, went all the way up to $1,900, pulled back to $1,180, and is sitting at $1,300 right now. That is not a bad track record for gold. Silver similar, from $380 up to $50, back down to 18 and change, and is sitting right now just below the $20 level. The reasons that you want to be in gold and silver are very, very important. Hedges against inflation, which is now starting to rear its ugly head in the form of much higher food costs and currencies. And soon what you're going to see in the United States is that they're going to raise interest rates to start to stave off inflation. And by raising interest rates, you're going to stop the rally in the stock market, and you are going to hurt the real estate market tremendously, which, by the way, is not doing anywhere near as well as they're professing that it is. So, again, at this point here, it's important to diversify. It's important to hold the type of assets that are going to be there for you when you need them, and that's physical gold, physical silver, physical diamonds. They're going to not only help you with hedging a very weak U.S. currency, but it's also, over the long run, we feel going to make our listeners and our clients an awful lot of money. So again, as we're taping the show today on Thursday, because I will be traveling all day Thursday and I'll be busy Friday, gold is trading at $1301.90. Silver's trading right now at $1964. We did break above $20 on Wednesday. Platinum's been on a tear. A little bit of profit taking today. It's down $6, but it's trading all the way up at $14.75. And the market to really be excited about at this point is palladium. It may be down on profit taking $10 today, but it's sitting at $820. When we first recommended palladium, it was at $170. It's done extremely well. The Dow today, on Thursday, after dropping heavily on Wednesday, is down another 150 points. As you can see, talk about inflation is not good for the Dow. We're trading at 16,459. The NASDAQ has been dropping substantially. It's been down 4 to 5 days. It's down 51 points at 4,049. The Toronto Stock Exchange down 101 points at 14,572. U.S. dollar came back stronger the last few days. It's trading right at the 80-cent level. The Nikkei is down heavily, 122 at 14,283. And oil's back over 100, is trading right at around the 102 level. And we're very, very bullish on the crude oil market. So, again, Randy, that's what's going on in the markets at this point. Again, we've got volatility in the markets. They don't seem to have any direction in the commodity markets at this point. But again, right at this point, I'm seeing that gold and silver are trying to build a base at right around $1,300 and just under the $20 level. But over the longer term, and we are longer term holders of gold and silver, I see substantially higher prices from where we are right now. And that's what's happening in the markets at this point.
When you're looking to invest in precious metals, speak with Worldwide Precious Metals of Vancouver. Canadian company, Western Canadian company. The only Canadian precious metals bullion dealer recommended by Harold for over 10 years. They're the experts to trust when investing within this very specialized market. Find them online, wwpmc.com, or call free of charge, 1-866-623-2002. And as I mentioned, they're going to be in Edmonton June 2nd and 3rd, and they're booking private information sessions. Anytime you get an opportunity to sit down with the experts from Worldwide, do it. They're going to be here June 2nd and 3rd, and they're going to be talking about private and secure storage for bullion outside the banking system, which is so important with what we saw with the bail-in in Cyprus. We'll talk a little bit about the bail-in, which they did when they had a seminar back in November in Edmonton, and they did a seminar as well in Toronto. And don't forget, this is a zero-obligation meet and greet. They would just like to sit down with you, let them earn your business. Learn about investing in hard assets, gold and silver, platinum and palladium. It's very easy to start your own precious metals investment account. You get an experienced, results-driven personal bullion dealer who's there to help you maximize profit, minimize the risk by building an understanding and relationship directly with you. And you have a chance to sit down with them here in Edmonton. All investments are secure and 100% insured to the full value of your investment. The metal can be stored on your behalf, all outside the banking system, or be securely delivered to your door. Discover Worldwide precious metals, domestic or foreign storage, in addition to premium storage options in specific coin and bar form. Now, with Worldwide, you'll have instant liquidity in and out of the market with just a phone call or 24/7 online access. That's another bonus that you have with Worldwide. Connect with Worldwide, 1-866-623-2002, 1-866-623-2002, the website, wwpmc.com. Don't forget, they're going to be in Edmonton June 2nd and 3rd. If you would like to sit down with them, do so immediately. In our newsletter this week, we have some outstanding information. Richard Russell, a great quote from Richard. You can get our newsletter from Worldwide. He said, "Strange, I just received a pamphlet titled The World's Safest Currency. I was curious and read the pamphlet. It turned out the world's safest currency, according to this outfit, is the Aussie dollar, mainly because Australia is in such good shape and has very little debt. But it's absolutely nonsense. The safest currency in the world is gold. This is true because gold is not backed or guaranteed by any single nation. Gold is pure wealth and needs no nation to guarantee its value. Gold is so safe that it doesn't need to pay interest, whereas every other currency needs to pay interest. For instance, who owns rubles or Aussie dollars if they didn't pay interest? The less safe a currency, the more interest the currency must pay to buyers. One advantage that gold and silver possess is that they can't degenerate into nothing. They can't become worthless. Historically, every fiat currency in history has ultimately become worthless, valueless. No fiat currency in history has ever survived." And that's from Richard Russell, very well known for writing the Dow Theory letters. He's in his 80s, has been writing them now for 60 years. Also, another reason to get our free weekly newsletter from Worldwide. Connect with them, wwpmc.com or 1-866-623-2002. James Turk, he says, "Silver is one of the best buys on the planet today." He was doing a review of commodity prices on the World Bank site, and he said they actually include one other commodity with prices from January 80 to the present, silver. The eye-opening point is that silver is only 51% of its present value of the price 34 years ago. How is it possible that silver can be so cheap given its use in so many new applications and the continuing drawdown of the above-ground stock? We all know, of course, the answer to the question because silver is part of a central banker's scheme to keep the price of precious metals as low as they can. Yet gold is 192% ahead of its price at the end of January 1980. So why hasn't the price of silver risen at the same time? Some people will answer the question a variety of ways, but to me, there's only one answer. The price of silver is much easier to control than the price of gold because silver is a much smaller market. So paper derivatives can have a much bigger impact on silver. After all, one wealthy individual controlled the whole silver market by himself for a while, leading to a price spike in 1980. So imagine what a group of governments and their bullion bank agents could do with their combined resources if they are intent on manipulating silver. But regardless of the ongoing manipulation of the silver price, one obvious fact stands out from my comparison of commodity prices. Silver is very, very cheap. Silver is by far the cheapest of the 63 commodities I compared. That makes silver a tremendously undervalued asset and therefore one of the best buys on the planet today. And I know that Richard Russell, he is very, very bullish on silver as well, encouraging his readers to invest in silver. He really thinks it's one of those times in history where it's a screaming buy. And Harold, I think we would agree, based on the facts, here we are, it's 50% of the price that it was back in 1980. And we believe the best is yet to come for silver. As not only is there more investment interest, but applications for many different uses in society today. And we have 2 minutes left here.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And the fact is that that's why we're so disappointed in what's happening in the marketplace and the way that silver and gold has been trading, because we know of all these situations. They're all present in the market. The fundamentals for gold and silver are tremendously strong. The need for silver is tremendous, and there are shortages in the market, and it just doesn't make sense that gold and silver are sitting at this level when those fundamentals are present in the marketplace. For any other commodity, supply and demand is the key factor that affects prices. And when the demand for a commodity is extremely high and the supplies are extremely low, like they are in silver, that's a recipe for extremely higher prices. So why in the world would silver be sitting at these levels if this situation is present? That's what I'm talking about in the marketplace today. The fundamentals for gold and silver are so strong, but they are not allowing the markets at this point to react to it. It's the same situation for the stock market. The fundamentals for the stock market are the opposite. They're horrible, and the stock market's reaching record prices. It makes absolutely no sense unless you're the government that is making this happen. And again, there's nothing that at this particular point, short term, that we can do about this. So we sit back and we bide our time and we let the markets do what they are doing at this point and realize that we don't trade gold and silver. We buy and hold it for a specific reason, and when all the dust settles, I'm positive that we're going to turn out on top.
Don't forget, Worldwide Precious Metals in Edmonton, June 2nd and 3rd. They are booking private information sessions. They would like to sit down with you and speak to you about hard assets, gold, silver, platinum, palladium. And they are the experts in this very specialized field, a Canadian company out of Western Canada. That's who you want to deal with. Connect with them immediately to book your free spot. www.pmc.com. The telephone number 1-866-623-2002, 1-866-623-2002, www.pmc.com, and ask about getting on the list for our free weekly newsletter. And get that information from Richard Russell, the world's safest currency, gold. Also, the article from James Turk on silver being the cheapest commodity out there today. Connect with Worldwide, www.pmc.com, 1-866-623-2002. It was an outstanding week for diamonds. 2 auctions, Geneva, Christie's Sotheby's had auctions. We'll talk about Harold's auction coming up on the 21st. The World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on Thursday, May 15th, 2014. The reason Harold is going to be interviewed live on Bloomberg Radio May the 16th, 12:15 Mountain, 2:15 Eastern, and we'll talk about that a little later in the show. Don't forget, next auction for hsfineauctions.com, May 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain, and some of the proceeds going to a very worthy cause. We'll talk about that here momentarily as well. And when it comes to investing in gold and silver, there's only one company Harold recommends you use, Worldwide Precious Metals. They're going to be in Edmonton June 2nd and 3rd. They're booking private information sessions. If you would like to be educated as to why you should have hard assets in your portfolio and why it's so imperative today more than ever, sit down with them. They have outstanding information on secure storage for bullion outside the banking system, the bail-in that happened in Cyprus, and so much more. Get information from them. Connect with them. wwpmc.com, 1-866-623-2002. We can't encourage you enough to sit down with them when they're here in Edmonton on June 2nd and 3rd. RareColoredDiamonds.com is Harold's website. Our featured diamond of the week. Really one of the most stunning diamonds we've had when it comes to the color. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's a .53 carat princess cut, fancy, intense yellow green. And this yellow green diamond is just amazing. The color on it is so beautiful. Go to RareColoredDiamonds.com right now. Click on Featured Diamond of the Week, and you can see the video for this diamond. You can also get our free weekly newsletter from Harold at RareColoredDiamonds.com and see a picture of it in the newsletter. You can speak personally and privately with Harold as well, 1-800-432-1022. But this is a diamond that would be an outstanding diamond for a personal diamond portfolio. The big stories of the week. There were two auctions, both in Geneva, Switzerland. One for Christie's, one for Sotheby's. And they had diamonds that were, needless to say, some of the most sensational on planet Earth. This is from Sotheby's Magnificent Jewels and Noble Sale, May 13th, 2014. Lot 507. Sensational and rare fancy vivid yellow diamond ring, Graph, known as the Graph Vivid Yellow, 100.09 carats. It went for $16.3 million. $16.3 million. Just an absolutely stunning total. And one of the other items that really blew the doors off the auction, and it really caught a lot of people by surprise, and we'll tell you about it because I said to Harold, take a look at this diamond. It was lot 525, a fine fancy light pink diamond ring, and it was 10.11 carats. The estimate on it was $450,000. And that was Swiss francs, and that was $500,000 US. It went for $3.9 million. $3.9 million. But now we switch to Christie's Geneva's Magnificent Jewel Sale, May the 14th. And they auctioned off lot 260, the blue, the fancy, vivid blue pear-shaped diamond. And it weighed approximately 13.22 carats. The estimate on it was $21 million to approximately $25 million. It went for just under 25. It went for $24.2 million. They also had lot 180, the Ocean Dream, the fancy vivid blue-green rectangular cut diamond weighing approximately 5.5 carats. Just a stunning diamond. The estimate on it was $7 to $9 million. It just went for under 9. It went for $8.7 million. And then there was the Raja diamond, lot 258. And this was the old mine brilliant cut diamond weighing 26.14 carats. The estimate on it, $3 to $5 million. It sold for $4.1 million. The Raja diamond, absolutely stunning. Harold, it was an amazing week for diamonds. We saw it in the auction results. We can send the auction results out to those who would like to obviously see them. And we can't forget to remind everyone, HES Fine Auctions having an auction May 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. And it goes to support the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. And I know that the interest right now is just off the charts for this auction.
It is, Randy. I'm very, very proud. I'm going to be in New York on Friday, this Friday coming, and I'll be on Bloomberg Radio to do a 15-minute interview on the breast cancer charity and on the auction that we're holding for them. And as it happens, Nancy Brinker, who's the founder, who's Susan's sister, who started the entire charity, made a promise to her sister Susan when Susan was dying of cancer. She said to her sister, well, Susan said to Nancy, you have to do everything in your power to make certain that this doesn't continue, that, women don't continue to die from this horrible disease, because, Randy, it's unbelievable. Back in the 80s, nobody even spoke about breast cancer because they couldn't say the words, type of thing. But do you realize that every 74 seconds, some woman around the world dies of breast cancer? It's a terrible disease, and it's mostly a woman's disease. So why would men, a man like myself, why would we be involved in a charity like this? Because we're fathers, we're husbands, we're grandfathers, we're brothers and sons. And we love our mothers and our wives and our sisters and our daughters. So why wouldn't we be involved in something like this? And it's just taking on a life of its own. So as it happens, Nancy Brinker, who started this charity, was the founder and went on to be the ambassador to the United States to Hungary under George Bush, became Time's most influential woman, and countless other awards. She happens to be in New York the same time as I am, and I'm so excited is going to be on the interview with me on Bloomberg. And this is a woman that I hold in extremely high regard. She's accomplished things that most people in the world could never even understand, and what a privilege it is not only to be a friend, but to be associated with this charity and do the job that we're going to do. Most companies that get involved in charities look to donate 5 or 10%. We're giving 50%. So again, we're looking to do a phenomenal job. Bloomberg's very excited about having us both on, and this is going to be an auction that defies description. If you look at our catalog, we've got some of the most amazing pieces that we've ever had since we've been in business. So go to hsfineauctions.com, HS for Harold Siegel, fineauctions.com, and sign up for it. Go to the Getting Started section, fill out the pertinent information, and we will send you a link on the day of the auction, which is May 21st. Download it a half an hour before the auction starts and get ready for one of the most exciting evenings you've ever had. This is a virtual live auction website. Nothing like it exists in the world today, and we are means that you could be sitting in your home in Edmonton or in Toronto, and we'll have other clients that are sitting in their home or in their office in England, some in China, some in Australia, some in the United States, and everybody is able to attend our auction because it's virtual and it's live. That means that I come on and sell every piece. It's not like an eBay site where you type in your bids. We've got so many amazing pieces. First of all, everybody has seen the breast cancer ribbon. Well, we designed it in pink sapphires for starters. We're also designing one of the pink diamonds. It's worth a fortune. But these are very important pieces, and there are so many women today that have successfully beaten breast cancer, have survived it, and this is a tremendous tribute to them. So we made this magnificent piece. It's the pendant for breast cancer awareness. We made this out of pink sapphires, and the starting bid is going to be $5,000. We estimate the value at around $20,000. We made the first one for Nancy Brinker, the founder, and I understand that she never, ever takes this off. So we would love you to participate in this auction. The beautiful thing is about charity is that being rich is not a matter of how much you have, it's how much you give. And that's extremely important to understand. So, when we give to charities, whether it's our charity, the Susan G. Komen charity, or whether it's a charity that you support for whatever reason, the fact is that we give our money and our time because we believe in this. So the bottom line is that with my auction, my clients that attend our auction are not only going to be able to contribute to this amazing charity, but they're going to get tremendous value. You're getting something back. Not only are you going to get back the tremendous feeling of giving to a worthwhile charity, but you're going to be able to bid on items that are so valuable, and you're going to be able to get something at a phenomenal price. For example, aside from the pendant for breast cancer awareness, the next item up for bid is a 201 radiant cut fancy yellow diamond ring that is going to start at $20,000 but is valued at over $60,000. So basically, let's say this ends up selling for $35,000 or $40,000. You've got a $60,000 diamond ring that you're going to be able to buy for well under the market and contribute phenomenal amounts of money to this amazing charity. How great is that? That you're donating to a fabulous charity, but you're getting something of tremendous value in return. Then we have some earrings that defy description. These are 3.5 carat, princess cut, fancy yellow diamond earrings that are going to start at $17,000, that are worth, again, in the $60,000 to $70,000 range. For all those women out there that own yellow diamonds, these earrings will take your breath away. And the beautiful thing is you're going to be able to buy them at a phenomenal price. When you're ready, you give them back to me, and I'll resell them for you at a profit on our auction site. Coming up after that is one of the most beautiful diamond rings you'll ever see. It's a 1.5 carat, oval, fancy, vivid yellow diamond ring that's surrounded by white and yellow diamonds, and the band is encrusted in white diamonds. The starting price is $22,000. The appraisal on it is at around $75,000 or $80,000. Again, if you end up buying this diamond ring in the $50,000 range, the charity is going to do tremendously well, and you're going to end up getting a diamond ring that you'll never want to take off your finger. Then starts to come some of our earrings. Some of the most amazing earrings, pear cut, fancy yellow diamond earrings starting at $19,000, over 2 carats worth of yellow, pear-shaped yellow diamond earrings. Then, one of the biggest buys of the night is a 102 carat, cushion cut, fancy pink diamond ring. The starting price is $55,000. It's a $360,000 diamond ring. Let's say this diamond ring sells for $150,000, less than half price of what it's worth. The charity is going to get a lot of money, and somebody's going to walk away with a $360,000 diamond ring that's going to cost them about half of what the price is. And then again, give it back to me in 5 years and let me sell it for you at a profit. There's another diamond ring. It's a fancy light orangey pink. If you look at what orange pink diamonds are doing at auction, they're stealing the show. They're selling for so much more than what the estimates are. This is a 103 fancy light pear-shaped diamond ring. It's an orangey pink. It's stunning. It's surrounded by big white diamonds that almost look blue in color. The starting price is $35,000. This diamond ring will probably sell in the $60,000 to $75,000 range, but it is actually appraised at well over $100,000. Then you've got these multicolored diamond earrings that could never be replaced. The starting price is $15,000. They're estimated to sell at $60,000. Their estimated value is $60,000. However, there are diamonds in these earrings that could never be replaced. There's vivid oranges, there's greens, blues, purples, pinks, yellows, the most amazing multicolored diamonds that will take your breath away. And there's almost 4 carats of these multicolored diamonds in these phenomenal earrings. Somebody is going to walk away with the most beautiful diamond earrings. And then the pièce de résistance, the 502 carat emerald cut diamond ring. It is starting price is $90,000. We've never sold anything starting at $90,000 yet. We're building up to that. It's still a fairly new business, but this diamond ring is worth $250,000. And when you see what it looks like, you're going to understand. This is over 5 carats. It's a square emerald cut, and it is absolutely stunning. And then we come to our loose diamond section. There's a very small 16-point round brilliant, fancy intense orangey yellow diamond. On its own, that diamond would be valuable. However, it's an argyle. It's laser inscribed. You've never seen diamonds like this before. Just look at the video and see the intense orange color come out and understand that this is a $35,000 minimum diamond, that the starting price is going to be $7,500. Look at the GI report. Look at the estimated value, and again, you're going to be looking at one of the most amazing diamonds that you have ever seen, and it's laser inscribed. It's an actual argyle, intense orangey yellow diamond. Then we come into our argyles. Very valuable, the best investment diamonds you could get. We all know that the argyle mine is going to close soon. We've got the 20-point princess cut, fancy orangey pink. These orangey pinks go up like crazy. There's a 33-point pear-shaped fancy orangey pink coming up. There's a 33-point, listen to this, the 33-point round, brilliant, fancy purplish pink Argyle diamond that's nearly flawless. It's a VVS1. The starting price is going to be $25,000. Estimated value is $60,000. One of the best Argyle diamonds you'll ever get. There's a 46-point pear-shaped fancy intense orangey pink diamond, and then there is the big diamond, the 51-point oval fancy pink Argyle that's worth $80,000. That's going to start at $26,000. So again, I'm so excited about this auction because number one, it's the best auction that we've ever thrown. Number two, it's going to benefit a very important charity that I'm very, very close to, and there's many of us out there that have had people that have been affected by this critical disease. And I've got to tell you that what's been done in the last 10 years because of Susan G. Komen and other charities like it is nothing short of phenomenal. So your money is going to a very worthy cause. And again, as men, we're fathers, we're husbands, we're sons, we're grandsons, we're grandfathers. We got to take care of this, and we've got to help. And again, this is just a perfect way to do it. So, Randy, I've never been more excited. This is something that I truly believe in. I have many people in my life that have been affected by this critical breast cancer, and again, the inroads that have been made lately have just been nothing short of amazing. And I know that breast cancer has touched your family also.
That's right. Well, just this week, we found out a family member had breast cancer, and you just never know. These things just pop up out of nowhere and take you by surprise. It's tough to take, but we'll definitely support that person and soldier on. But support is critical, as Harold was saying. Support critical breast cancer research, live online auction, May 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain, hsfineauctions.com. Susan G. Komen, that's where a good percentage of the money is going. Take a look at the catalog online at hsfineauctions.com and be prepared for bidding come that night. It's going to be a phenomenal night. And that pendant for breast cancer awareness, Harold, I think, I know the estimate on it starts at 5 and could go for 20. It would not surprise me to see that go for much, much higher, because some of the people that are going to be involved in this auction are very charitable and want to help out this worthwhile cause, and we're just excited to be a part of it and look forward to tomorrow too, when you're on Bloomberg Radio along with Nancy Brinker. And if you want to learn about Nancy Brinker, all you need to do is, she has a website, nancybrinker.com. What a phenomenal woman, Harold. She has just, as you said, been an ambassador. She was given the Medal of Freedom from Barack Obama. She's just an amazing, amazing lady, and it's nice to be able to help out with an auction that we obviously have some very high-quality diamonds, which everyone wants to invest in and show off and wear, and yet at the same time we're helping out an amazing charity.
You bet, Randy. And again, beautifully said. Nancy, not only did she lose her sister to breast cancer, but she had a double mastectomy herself. And this woman is just somebody that I respect tremendously. At times in our life, we make a promise type of thing, and we do everything we can to keep it. If you're that type of person, but to keep a promise like she made to her sister and build it into this tremendous charity that has donated $2.5 billion, Randy, is just an unbelievable thing. So again, I'm just very, very proud and pleased to be involved and in such good company, because other partners of Susan G. Komen are the Dallas Cowboys and American Airlines and some of the major corporations. And where my corporation doesn't compare obviously in size to those, believe me, we're going to do a phenomenal job, and they're just as excited about dealing with us as they are with anybody that is willing to help and to contribute to this phenomenal cause. And I do have to say that I've received some very, very touching phone calls and letters from listeners to our radio show of experiences they've had, and one just really sticks out with me. A client of mine called and we talked, and he sent a letter that he sent to his sister, and she was dying of breast cancer, and it was the most beautiful, heartfelt letter that I have to say I cried over. And, unfortunately she passed away 2 days after. However, she did get a chance to read this letter from her brother that was so sentimental and so beautiful. Anybody who would read it would have been touched, in their heart type of thing. So again, we're doing a good thing here, and I hope that the listeners to our radio show will back me up on this and help me raise money for a very, very worthwhile cause. But in the meantime, I'm making certain that you're going to get something tremendous for your money, not only the satisfaction of helping a very worthwhile charity, but you're going to get something phenomenal for your money that is going to be worth, a fortune of money on top of what we're going to give to the charity. So, again, I'm very excited about this, Randy. This is something new for us, but it's something that I plan on doing full-fledged going into this year and for many, many years to come.
HSFineAuctions.com. Go to the website right now. Take a look at the catalog. Click on catalog, and it will take you through. And you can go through and pick out some of the items that you would like to bid on. That auction, May 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. Harold going to be interviewed with Nancy Brinker live on Bloomberg, May the 16th, a Friday, tomorrow. And we're taping today's show on Thursday, 12:15 Mountain, 2:15 Eastern. We're very, very excited about that. HSFineAuctions.com. Harold's website for diamonds is rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Really one of the greatest websites on the planet for rare-colored diamonds. It's like going to a museum. Our featured diamond of the week is a must invest. If you're starting a portfolio, looking to add to a diamond portfolio, this is one you must have. The color is just something I don't think I've ever seen before. It's a .53 carat princess cut, which I like the princess cut, fancy intense yellow-green. It is absolutely stunning. Now, obviously, we're talking about a serious issue here with supporting breast cancer, but on a good note, George Clooney, obviously a very well-known actor and a man who's known to have many beautiful girlfriends, but for whatever reason has always said he would never get married again. He was married when he was younger, but never get married again. He would go through many different girlfriends. He'd be with them for a few years, and then it would break up, and he would find another beautiful woman to be his girlfriend. Well, hey, wait a minute. George Clooney popped the question, and we have a picture of that 7-carat diamond engagement ring in our free weekly newsletter. Get it from Harold. Take a look at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Get our free weekly newsletter and take a look at the engagement ring that George gave to his British girlfriend. Yes, anything is possible, Harold. George Clooney is going to be married. And we also have those auction results from Christie's and Sotheby's in Geneva. And some of the auction results there are just simply outstanding. In fact, to give you an idea, the difference that obviously a good auction can make, the highest total ever achieved for an auction of jewelry from various owners at more than $141.4 million. And that was the Sotheby's Geneva Magnificent Jewel Sale. And they go on to say in the story that we have in our newsletter that the 70.33 carat D-color flawless cushion brilliant cut sold for $14.2 million, and that obviously was a very nice total. But a pink diamond, a 12.07 carat marquise cut shaped fancy pink diamond sold for $7.2, setting a world record for auction per carat at $601,228. And the records just continued on. You can read about it in our free weekly newsletter. Harold, we have approximately a minute left, and obviously very excited about our featured diamond. Excited tomorrow for you to be on Bloomberg with Nancy Brinker. What happened in Geneva was outstanding this week. We'll be happy to send off the auction results to our listeners. But more importantly, coming up on May 21st, we are putting on the auction, hsfineauctions.com, supporting critical breast cancer research through Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. And we're just very, very excited about that major event. And as it goes along towards May 21st, the excitement and the awareness of it is building. And there are some high-level people who are going to be involved.
You bet, Randy. Again, I'm very, very proud and very excited, and everything that's happening in the diamond industry right now is extremely positive. Everything is so positive, and you look at the other marketplaces, and they're not. So, again, I'm so pleased with what we brought forth to our listeners and clients about a decade ago, and just look what's happened in this market. It's gone from a sleepy little market that nobody knew anything about to everyday news that is just shocking people with returns. They're great investments. They're beautiful to own, and again, I couldn't be more proud of what we've built in the diamond industry, not only rarecoloreddiamonds.com, but H. Siegel Fine Auctions, which again is going to change the diamond market as we know it.
Thank you very much, Harold Siegel.
It's my pleasure, Randy. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very, very profitable day.
Don't forget Worldwide Precious Metals in Edmonton, June 2nd and 3rd. Book a private information session with them. www.pmc.com, 1-866-623-2002. Harold's website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Connect with Harold at 1-800-432-1022. The auction site for the special auction, May 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain, hsfineauctions.com. And if you're listening to us on Thursday, listening to the show early, Harold on Bloomberg Radio, Friday, May 16th, 12:15 Mountain, 2:15 Eastern, with Nancy Brinker talking about rare colored diamonds and the auction on the 21st. Listen to that interview. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.